Hey everyone. Who is she? Oh, she got her nails did. Oh. Sorry. Very rarely do I splurge on getting my nails done, so I'm feeling myself today. Hi, welcome. If you are new, my name is Emmy. I am married with 2 kids, and this is a channel all about my family's journey in getting out of over $200,000 worth of debt. If that sounds like something you are interested in, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. We would love to have you as part of my family's debt-free journey. And thank you so much to everyone who has already shown the love by leaving me a comment, liking my videos, subscribing. Oh my goodness, I think I'm up to 145 subscribers now, which is amazing to me. I never thought that many people would be interested in my debt-free journey. I started this channel in trying to hold myself more accountable because although my family was never in trouble necessarily, we do frivolously spend. And so I wanted to hold ourselves accountable so we knew exactly where our money was going. So that way at the end of every month, we could put some money into sinking funds, savings, and paying more than just the minimum payment on all of our debts. So anyway, that's what we're going to talk about today. Today we're talking all about sinking funds, and what I'm going to do is show you how we closed out the month of April in terms of sinking funds, and it's actually not a really pretty story at all. So we have a couple of sinking fund categories. After April, I realized that we do need to add a couple of sinking fund categories, and I did need to take one away. So you'll see that when I set up my May sinking funds. But just so you know, these are the sinking funds I have set up for April's budget. I had health, gifts, Christmas, entertainment, taxes, car maintenance, kids, personal care, travel, my cat, and I did start out just for the first month of April with a baking sinking fund because baking was just a little hobby of mine. But as my little hobby began to grow, I realized I had to separate all of my expenses for my baking business. So I had to quickly scratch that out. And so that will no longer be going into my sinking funds for May's budget. So all of this stuff you're seeing here should be pretty familiar because I've already checked in all of these sinking funds with you guys. These are stickers that I have made myself, just a way for me to keep track of everything that's going in and out throughout the month. So I write down how much I start with each month, how much I add into my sinking funds, how much we spend, and then the ending balance at the end of the month. So I usually deposit into my sinking fund account once a month, and that's usually at the very beginning of the month because that is when my husband gets a really big paycheck, and that's when I usually get paid as well. So our budget can handle just one deposit of sinking funds per month. I know some people deposit into their sinking funds every week or every time they get paid, but we just do one deposit a month. And so, yeah, I wanted to kind of go over how we did in April. So let's get into the nitty-gritty. So as I mentioned in my previous sinking fund video, I'm trying out this highlighter method just so I can visually see where it is that we are spending a lot of our money. And in the month of April, we did go on a family vacation, and there were just a couple of things happening in April that are not normal for regular months. We had my birthday. My son had a baseball game he had to go to because he was recognized for being a all-star reader at school. And so they have this little parade at a baseball game for all of the kiddos who read a certain amount of books. So we did that. And so all of those came from an entertainment sinking fund, or a gift sinking fund. And so entertainment, gifts, those were areas in which we overspent this month. So the way that I have my sinking fund table set up, I write down the date in which we spend our sinking fund, where we spent our money, and what fund it came from. And as you can see, there's a lot of blue going on. And then the stuff that's in orange, the gift sinking fund, although there aren't a lot of those colors, the numbers are quite high. So here is what we took out and anything that we put in, and the remaining balance towards the end. So I won't go over these line by line, but I did want to show you that by the end of the month, We overspent in our gifts category by $200.87 and our entertainment category by $56.17. So what that means, basically we spend everything using an American Express credit card, and that is solely because we get cashback rewards every time we spend money. And then I use a digital sinking fund envelope that I use through Qube Money, and I pay that back the next day. So what do I do when, say, it looks like Amazon, so my husband bought a birthday gift for me that cost $134.55, but we did not have that in the gift sinking fund, which made us go in the negative $100.87. So Qube Money does not let you go in the negative. It doesn't have like a, what's it called, like an overdraft program at all. If you don't have the money to cover the balance, then it just rejects the transaction altogether. So what I do is, when my husband swiped the American Express card for this birthday gift, I use what we had left in the gift sinking fund to pay off part of this amount, and then I use our bank account buffer, like our regular checking account, to pay for the rest. So all of these sinking funds, we had enough to cover everything in our sinking fund Qube Money envelopes, except these two categories. So our bank account buffer had to eat up this amount, which was, let me tell you exactly, $257.04. So that's how much we had to use our bank account buffer to cover those expenses. So when I go back here, sorry if the camera was wobbling a little bit. So for the gift sinking fund, we started out with 100. I deposited 100 at the beginning of the month, which left us with 200. But since we overspent, we spent more than $200. At the end of the month, we are left with 0. I don't end the account in the negative. We just use our bank account buffer to eat up any overage that we have. So it was just gifts and entertainment where we went over. Everything else was left with a balance. Okay, so now let's talk about May's sinking funds. All right, so here we are with our sinking fund categories. I'm using the app Qube Money. I'll leave a link down in my description if you guys are interested in checking it out. This is a free app. You are allowed to have 10 different envelopes or cash envelopes, cubes, sinking funds, whatever it is you want to call it. However, if you want to pay for the premium membership, then you can have unlimited amount of envelopes, but the free membership lets you use 10. So here are my sinking funds, the same ones that you saw in my table, and now we're going to stuff them because today is May 3rd. It's actually very long overdue. I need to stuff my sinking funds. My first sinking fund is health. And I'm going to move money from the cloud. And I'm going to deposit the $200 allotted for this month. And so the cloud is like a limbo. You deposit money from your checking account, or you can even have your paycheck directly deposited to Qube Money if you want to. If you choose that option, you can get paid up to a day early, which is awesome. But I just like to be in charge of what directly goes into my Qube Money account, so I manually transfer over my sinking funds and also my cash envelope spending. So anyway, right now this is cash envelope spending and sinking funds for the month of May, so that's why there's a big balance in my cloud. And then once you have your balance in your cloud, you can then assign it to whatever envelope you want. So from cloud to health, $200, and this is going to be May deposit, just so I know what's going on. And it's there. I'm just going to quickly go through all my other envelopes and make my sinking fund deposits for May. So for gifts this month, I'm putting $200 because it is Mother's Day. And so I have 3 moms that I'm buying for. I have my mother, my husband's mother, and my husband's stepmother. So that's 3 moms we have to buy presents for. And plus I wanted to have a little bit of a buffer because right now our gifts sinking fund is completely empty. So I figured we could spend anywhere maybe $50 or so per mother, and then that would leave us with $50 in the sinking fund for later. Next is Christmas, and I like to put $100 every month, so that way we have something whenever it becomes November, December time. I'm so excited about that because we always have to be scrounging at the last minute trying to, you know, figure out a way to pay for all of the gifts come Christmas time. And now we already have $500 put away and it's May. I'm so happy about that. For entertainment, we're only going to put $100, and I know right now my entertainment sinking fund is at 0, and I probably should put more, especially because we overspent in that category last month. But I don't expect us to be doing anything. There are no extra events. We don't have a vacation planned. My son doesn't have a baseball game, things like that. So I'm hoping it's going to be just a regular month where we can use our entertainment sinking fund for if we want to go to the movies, or if I want to take my son to, I don't know, a trampoline park, or, you know, the museum or something like that, which those activities and experiences don't cost too much. So I think $100 will be plenty for this month. Next we have taxes, and this is for my car tag and my husband's car tag. My car tag is already paid for it's due in June. So right now I'm just putting in a little bit for when my husband's car tag is due, which isn't until next January, or January 2023. So I'm not going to put too much in there. I'm only going to put $10 in this month. Next we have car maintenance, and usually I try to put a lot of money in here because my husband is saving up to get some new tires, but we did spend a lot for when we had to go on vacation. My husband had to get his oil changed, he needed new windshield wipers, a new air filter, a whole bunch went into or went out of the car maintenance account. So I'm going to put $50 in this month, which I usually try to put around $100, especially for that big expense of the tires. But because of the new sinking fund categories we are adding, $50 I think will be okay for this month. The next category I have is kids, and this includes any toys, clothes, anything my kids need for school. And since I have 2 of them, I have double the amount I need to buy for, so I upped how much I'm putting in. I usually put $75 a month, but I think $100 is more realistic for what I need to spend on them, especially with the weather becoming much warmer. It's about time for us to buy the shorts and the short sleeve shirts, so I think $100 will be good for May. My cat is only going to get $40 this month. He has plenty in his sinking fund. He isn't due for a vet visit anytime soon, so really the only money that's going to be spent out of this account this month will be for his prescription cat food, and there's plenty of money in there for that. So really this $40 is mostly for in case something happens. I mean, better safe than sorry, right? So $40 for this month. Personal care is for haircuts, nails, and other things like that. So for personal care, we are going to put $50 this month. And I actually already spent some of that for my nail appointment. Okay, so here's a new sinking fund for our house. So I have a house sinking fund where I want to start putting money away for big ticket items for our house. Like we are in desperate need for things for our lawn. We need some new shutters, and I'd really like to pay someone to pressure wash our house. So that's going to be a pretty penny. I'm gonna start this sinking fund with $100. Next we have travel, and I know it looks like we have a lot in our travel sinking fund because when we got our tax refund back, we put $7,000 away for a Japan trip that we are planning for hopefully sometime this year. I am half Japanese. My mother was born in Japan, and she hasn't been to Japan since before I was born, and I am 31 years old now, so she hasn't seen her family, her friends in over 30 years, and my husband and I really wanted to take her on a trip to Japan so she could see her family. She just hasn't been able to financially, or she hasn't had time to, but she just retired this year, so we really wanted to take her. Then COVID happened and there were all these quarantine rules, but anyway, so we have it saved so whenever quarantine rules are lifted for traveling to other countries, that way we have that money put away. So really, if I don't count the $7,000, there's only $31.93 for other traveling we might want to do, like if we wanted to go on another vacation this summer. So we need to put money away for that. So we're going to put $100 this month. Okay, and the last sinking fund is going to be a new one, so I'm going to hit this Add Qube button here, and this is going to be a clothes sinking fund. My husband had to buy a suit for an interview that he did. I haven't bought clothes for myself in about a year. So what I like about Qube is you can choose an icon to identify your sinking fund, and so I think I'm going to choose the shirt. Why not? All of my sinking funds are like a green color. I don't remember which color. I think it's that one. You can choose the monthly budget for that, but I never really do. So let's fund this Qube. We are going to give the clothes sinking fund $100. And like I said, I don't really think I'm going to spend anything this month. Who knows? I might, but $100 should be fine, I think. My husband and I very rarely buy clothes for ourselves, but when we do, we splurge. And so I don't want to just completely blow our allowance money when we should have a sinking fund. Okay, so that's all of our sinking funds stuffed. All right, guys, that is it for closing out April's sinking funds and stuffing the May sinking funds. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below on what some of your sinking fund categories are. What are some of your goals for this month? My goal is to not overspend in any of the sinking fund categories. I don't want to use any of our account buffer to pay for anything this month. I want to only use what's allocated. And so that requires us to be really mindful of what it is we're spending and not go over budget. So, give me a thumbs up if you think we can do it this month, because I think we can. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.